very sad and angry place.
And that's you're just mushing your things. You're like writing 3 essays with 1 sentence, and the teacher doesn't buy it.
You can come up with your own ideas if you want to.
I thank you for your permission for
You're-
coming up with
You're
ideas.
welcome. I'll put it in writing.
Because
So.
I don't really welcome your ideas. Okay, let's start this episode. I don't really need to be slating, but I'm going to keep doing it as like our little stupid routine.
It is, yeah.
So you have to call the date.
Otherwise it'd feel weird.
I'm going to do the slate.
It's February 9th.
No.
February 9th, 2016.
Okay, we imagine
Master.
the music has started, and we have time to get up and run. Get up and run.
Go.
All right, you got it.
Hit the button.
Here we go. Yay! Hip hooray!
Woo. Hi, Dave.
Ow. I thought they told me you weren't going to be here.
I keep hoping. Should we just go right to happy place, because would be my happy place.
What, not being here?
You're not being here at
Oh,
all. I
no,
just
you
kid.
weren't.
I just kid.
Thanks for telling us, because we wouldn't know if you were kidding us. Anyway,
Welcome everybody.
to what?
Yapping with Teri and Dave.
And this is episode 3. I think we can start calling the episodes.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, yeah.
And so welcome back. You've seen 1 and 2 already.
We know you have, because we've been watching you.
Yeah.
Binoculars through your windows.
And for those of you who need to know, we want you to know where you can find us.
What if they haven't been watching us?
Well, see, that's my point. And so you got me stumbling, because you said, oh, well, they obviously have. We've been tracking them.
If they're listening to this, they found us. So do we really need to tell them where they are?
So for those of you who've never seen our show.
And aren't watching it right now.
Yeah, totally.
Or listening. If you're not
This
listening.
is why you might not next episode.
Just in case you haven't heard this yet. Anyway.
Yeah, so we're very excited. We can be found on iTunes. We'll tell you more about that later. You can also find us on my YouTube channel, Teri Edmonds, as Yapping Teri and Dave. And Dave, the third one is?
You don't remember.
The website, yappingpodcast.com.
Yep, all you gotta do is type that in.
That's the official website. We're now hooked in through iTunes officially today, which is so exciting.
Right, this morning or last night maybe it happened. But, and all last season's up there.
Yeah.
So we're really kind of doing our tech talk already.
Yeah.
Should I throw the logo?
Yeah, I think you should do it.
So, welcome to Tech Talk.
Woohoo!
And we just did it, so that's over. No, now there's last season we turned out that there was more than, we thought there were 13 episodes. Lucky 13, but there's really 14, as it turns out. I know, you're skeptical. But then there's also some that I think may not have ever been heard. But we're going to find that out too.
That's his accusing me that I haven't posted all of them.
Look at that. No, that's accusing. See,
I know, he did say it nicely
why do you
this
do
time.
Like that? Why do you have to make everything
just because I wanted to?
No, actually, I was trying to build a mystery about these.
Maybe that's my happy place.
If you look at them, I don't. If you read at all what I wrote, it didn't say Teri screwed up and didn't distribute these.
Yeah, we are not taking calls right now.
It's going to interrupt with I should probably put it on airplane mode.
What's so exciting to me about this day right now is we are officially on iTunes, podcast, every time.
No, it didn't. That was texting. So, we've been interrupted a couple times by an incoming call, and hopefully it won't interrupt us again.
Yeah.
We were talking about tech, and we're all excited about our podcast. We've really become professional. We really have it down, and
it's exciting. My fantasy or dream was always picturing somebody in their car stuck on a freeway going to work.
Your fantasy is somebody stuck on a freeway.
For the show.
That's awesome.
And you know that because I've said
Maybe
that.
they're on a road trip to Disneyland.
Or a road trip to Disneyland.
Or they're on a plane and there's a baby screaming and they can put their iPod
there you go.
and listen to our brilliance. My brilliance. Not that
I
I
almost wasn't listening to you right
see.
there.
I know. I could see. You're like, yes, you're brilliant. I could say anything at that point and be like,
Anyway,
What were you
so
thinking
exciting.
about? Where did your brain go?
I was picturing sitting in an airport, listening, having screaming children around, and putting the headset in.
And listen, you were.
I really was listening.
So anyway,
Well, I'm just excited about it, and the fact that you can binge watch it, because I do binge watch, Netflix and things, and so I've listened to them, and I think the audio's good. Even though we didn't have the new microphones in the first ones, it's still, I think, good, and something that anybody can do. If we can do this right here, almost anybody, well, of course.
I don't know. We're doing some pretty high caliber stuff, Terry. I don't know. It's inaccessible.
Not everybody can get just the ambient car sound.
Yeah, right. And not anybody could have these delightful chips
Or cheap wine.
and our cheap wine. So screw them.
Let's go back to that. We need a
On
wine
top of
sponsor.
the world. What's next, Terry? That
Okay.
really. If that was a train, we just killed all 300 passengers.
Yeah. Well, I was pop culture. I think we should go to pop culture because.
There you go.
So
Enjoy it.
I was watching this show, the Late Show, and he does the car karaoke, and he did one with Elton John.
He being whom?
I don't know his
You
name.
just
Why did
looked
you
it
have
up.
to ask me? I just got the name of the show. I didn't
But you
get
looked
his
it up.
name.
You were looking it up.
I could have. You were pressing me for time. I
goodness.
got down to 2 minutes. The lipstick ordeal. I mean, there.
The lipstick ordeal. That's is that like a, what do you call those romance novels? The
lipstick.
Wait.
It will be
wait,
another
wait.
$1,000.
I think we just slipped into a romance section or romantic. What the hell is it?
I don't know, but I did a yapping
relationships.
haiku today.
Oh, right.
I made up a yapping haiku.
Okay, so.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
The Late Show, Elton John was the karaoke theme. And so Elton John got in the car and they were singing. And then he asked him a question, and it ended up that Elton John does not have a cell phone. Because Elton John was saying he buys all the music he likes, he buys it in triplet, quadruplets, so he has one in his London home and his, anyway. So he.
And all 4 homes.
And
He
so the
buys them in
host
quadruple.
says, well, why don't you just get a cell phone? He says, well, I don't have a cell phone. He said, usually I have a bodyguard around me or something that has a phone. So he does not have a cell phone. And I relate to that because I do not have a cell phone either yet. I have an iPad, a phone. I just don't have them hooked up to.
Well,
I have Wi-Fi from my business.
what if, and so what is it that you like about the fact that Elton John doesn't have one?
I think it's super unique. Even for me being a little peon, I don't need a phone because I'm always at work. If you need to find me, I'm at work. And so, I don't know. I guess when I drive, I do have a little cell phone for the car, but it's my emergency phone. It doesn't follow me in my purse. I don't get GPS on it. So I thought it was interesting, a big name like Elton John not having a cell phone. You know what I need? I need an entourage.
Oh, so
And everybody can
now
carry a cell phone.
Now hiring Teri Edmonds. Go to teriedmonds.com and you can too be her entourage.
I have no social life, so I need to check all my phone's social life. So if David gets a text, what they say?
Maybe
Read it to me.
Maybe you could. Maybe you could send your cell phone around the world.
Why would I do that?
I don't know. It just occurred to me to say that. It doesn't make any sense.
Interesting.
I don't know how. It'd be
I don't
an
know.
intriguing thing to
That's
do
what
is
I'm
to
dealing with.
send your cell phone to a random person and see what happens to it. Do it, Teri. It's a great idea.
I'll put that on the list.
Yeah,
of more
anyway,
things
let's.
to do.
Speaking of lists, let's
Okay,
move on.
so let's move on.
Wait, was that pop culture? Did I have any pop
yeah,
culture?
you had the podcast. You are not
Oh,
so smart.
I'm listening to a podcast right now. It's called "You Are Not So Smart."
And tell me a little bit about it.
Well, I don't know the name of the guy who's doing it, just like you don't know the name of the person who's doing that show. It's very scholastic. It's very scholarly, I should say. It's a better word.
Really?
And it's different. It seems to be different episodes, different topics are treated differently. Like sometimes it's an interview about whether or not, and this is interesting, whether or not other animals have a sense of commerce. like when they're dealing with, do they understand what it means, exchange rate, and like, is 2 better than 1? And if I have, and so there's these experiments that this woman and this team are conducting, and so he interviews this woman about that and how it relates to our sense. Where does our sense of exchange and commerce, and hey, I didn't get my share, and where do these things come from, and do other animals have that? And anyway, so it's like that, or another one was where he just sort of narrated the history of scientific discoveries that were very subtle but utterly changed everything.
Oh, that sounds fascinating.
So and it's very, and you really have to like.
Was it free to subscribe?
Oh, it's all free. All podcasts are free, Teri.
Did you? I did not know that.
Now somebody could. Well, if you go through iTunes, the free ones, yeah. I mean, well, they're supposed to be. That's the intent.
So I have a question.
Maybe
If you had seen that show visually on TV versus just hearing it, of which do you think you would have absorbed the most?
That's a good question. I'm visual, so probably even perhaps more with the visual, but it depends on how they would have put it visually, certain concepts. So if it was just 2 people talking about it on camera like we're doing right now, I don't know, but listening isn't a great way to take something in.
I would try that. I don't mind putting things in my brain, especially if it's feeding it.
Maybe that's the magic of podcasts, is that you're listening and having to still engage your brain, like reading a book. You still have to picture it yourself, whereas the other work is done
for you.
But obviously films have huge impact, so
yeah.
I guess depending on the context of what you're trying to do,
they can help create emotion.
But it's a really effective podcast, and it's fascinating. I mean, they're really in-depth look at how human beings are human. And I guess, I mean, I've only listened to like 3. So, last year he could have talked about how they put bottle caps on a soda bottle. Maybe, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. I haven't paid really attention to.
Ours are 20 minutes, basically, 2022.
That's,
And I found they went quicker when I listened to them versus when I watched them.
They're painful to watch, is what you're saying. So I'm going to move this along because that kind of dwelled there a little bit, but we're running out of time.
You just reminded me of going into the happy place. Kind of segueing from that.
Oh, really? So happy place is.
Yeah. And that is, I just watched a Tony Robbins thing about how to change your feeling, because we were talking about visual and audio, and it made me think, it helps you feel. And Tony Robbins, segueing to Tony Robbins, says that in the first 10 minutes of the morning, he really tries to feel what he is visualizing. So first what he does is he gives gratitude for 3 things that's important to him. And then he puts out a good thought for 3 people that he knows. And then he spends the last 3 minutes of the 10 minutes feeling where he pictures himself being. And he mentioned that the state of our mind we can have total influence over the state of our mind. For example, let's say I had a customer walk in the store. This goes under, we can move to business. This is a segue.
Well, you don't get to decide. I'm changing the subject now. You have no input.
Okay. I'm just saying it ties, this is the example.
Right.
If I have set my brain on a certain track first thing in the morning, that if I run into a negative or an abrasive circumstance later in the day, my reaction will likely be different than had I not set my brain like that and I was just reactionary to that person or situation. And that's how those all 3 things tie together. What do you think about that, Dave?
You're so deliberate. You're just like...
What's your input?
I don't know. Have you been rehearsing this? Because I wasn't here for that. I mean, just
it's all gratuitous.
Well, I mean, you just sort of like carved out a whole lot of
Well, those
material
thoughts
there.
all went together. I'm sorry. They all segued into one another.
So what part of your thought process would you like me to respond to?
Okay, I would like you to address first the 10 minutes in the morning. Do you do that? Do you set your brain on a certain track first thing in the morning, or do you just wake up grumpy and say it's easy, it just happens?
It's really, grumpy comes very easy. I don't have to practice. I've had years of grumpy. No, Keone laughs at me because I actually will make a cup of coffee and go sit on the couch with my legs crossed and sit quietly in the dark where the cats are all outside and having been fed. I'll just sit. And I don't refer to it as meditation, but it's fundamentally what I'm doing.
Right.
But I don't like sit there going, I now am meditating.
Right.
Begin meditation. I allow myself to be awake and without intention. And that becomes a challenge.
That is the challenge.
So I spend a lot of time. I spend my time in the morning before Keone gets up and does his thing, just actually sitting without intention. And staying conscious. I don't like pass out.
Right.
I do slump and have to reposition myself. But I really could sit there for a long time. And that might be, if you want to segue, that could be a happy place.
Definitely. Let's segue into happy place.
So anyway,
Didn't
so
we just do happy place?
wait, that was your happy.
Oh, but you get your own special
not
happy
get happy
place? Is it
place?
like twice and then a
I
laser
don't
beam or
think I
something?
got a happy place. What about my happy place?
That was your happy place. Hello, you just told us your happy place.
We were like, you maybe.
What part of that?
Who's dominating this show? You or me? Oh my God! What was the segment?
Well, we have to end. It's Valentine's Day coming up this weekend, and so relationships.
We're on with that. I don't know that the other thing got well.
Nah, whatever. Oh, do it again. We always mess this one up.
No, it was.
Remember, you've got.
Oh, we're supposed to look.
You're supposed to be the grumpy one.
I know. I decided let's not do that because I have a husband who might actually watch these things, and I've already trampled. Speaking of that,
actually, that's
that
really
would be my
insightful.
topic. My confession, if he dare listen through this entire episode, is that last episode I dissed my husband off the bat in that.
And you don't usually do that. I'm going to say I'll witness for you. That's not
I think
typical.
that I'm not so sunny about relationships in the way that you are. Like when you when we get to this section, you're you have a much more optimistic.
Stop digging.
Yeah, no, shut him up. Somebody cut him off. Oh my God. I'm really trying to be this fabulously sincere, and yet I was totally.
Oh my
digging.
goodness, that is hysterical. Okay, so
yes, do you have anything for this?
Valentine's Day.
Oh, indeed. Do you have plans?
Well, I have been making Valentine's cards, and I'm practicing my watercolor. And honestly, I never had any time to do it at all. So today I woke up at 3:15 in the morning. I thought, perfect. Made some coffee. I have my watercolor desk already set up. It was so easy. I just pulled my tablet, opened it up, and one of the tricks I learned was using wax, and I wrote love in wax all over it, watered it, and then dropped colors of red and pink on it. And I did a couple of different variations of that, and it was really fun. I'm gonna give one to my Valentine. And then I have some girlfriend Valentines. I'm spending the day at the beach with them on Sunday. And so, and then probably my Valentine later.
So, I have nothing romantic planned.
It's nice.
Although we might maybe make reservations at Aria's over here. But I hate the holidays in general.
Do you ever just slip a note inside the sheet on the side of the bed that they sleep on or something?
No. I used to be better at that, but after almost 20 years now.
That's when the love falls away, David. Step
We're
on
probably
it.
having a better relationship than ever.
I know, it's
However,
true.
all that, the romantic notions of, we have those moments, and they're surprises, when we recognize how connected we are and
Exactly.
that we mean something to each other.
Yeah.
I
mean, 19 years, right? 19 years?
Well, actually, it's 19 and a half, so in August it's going to be 20
I mean,
years.
anybody that can be with you that long, David, they deserve something for Valentine's
right.
Day.
Oh my God, that's such a genuine, awesome thing to have said about my husband.
You know what? I'm going to
Considering where
make you
this
something
segment
for
started.
Valentine's Day,
I
and
know.
it better be on your refrigerator when I come over.
Can you sign my name to it and I'll give it to him?
That's hysterical.
Oh, dear.
Right?
So,
A gift that, yeah, that's
anyway,
hysterical.
you know, at the beginning of this, we were supposed to thank people for subscribing,
Right.
and I really do appreciate it. I think it's awesome that anybody listens to these things. So, and obviously, I'm bringing it to a close, but
It is
anyway,
awesome.
Thanks.
This
please,
is a real
please,
benchmark, so thanks for sharing with us.
Subscribe to our podcast, even if you don't always listen to it. Just be a subscriber, and I don't know, keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, we have fun. It's fun.
And I do, seriously, really, I'm blown away that people listen.
Yeah.
I'm blown away that I even sit through them. So, thanks, right?
Yay.
Are we done?
Yeah,
Is that
I think
good?
we're done. That's an
that
official
was a
done.
nice, sincere
It
ending.
was a nice, sincere.
I'm not so big an asshole.